What if you regret it? Don't you want to have kids? Don't you want to be a mom? Don't you want to start taking care of your family? Why am I getting cis women misogyny now?
Hello, team.
Shut the f up, you woman.
What the fuck?
Well, you got problems with that glove?
Yeah, I do. Instant misogyny? Yeah. GG's. Holy shit, what the fuck is wrong with the e-boys? I've had a lot of rude people in Valorant when I talk. Yeah, me too. Absolutely insane that is like the first thing to say and then just be quiet. Don't play co-op with randoms because of this. You know, I don't really want to restrict myself just because some people are awful. Have harder skin then. Yeah, I mean, like sometimes it gets to me, but it kind of depends. Male loneliness epidemic is self-inflicted. Valorant is a game that tells you how a person leans via the first few seconds or say hi in chat. Yeah, especially when you're like femme presenting, like when you have like a femme presenting voice. There's a correlation between lack of socialization when growing up and being a dick as an adult. On the other hand, if you're an adult, act like one. Yeah, like at some point the edgy teenager phase, it should end eventually. So we get to see in today's current landscape, there will be men who want the good old days, but I don't think the good old days move crypto scams. The good old days talking point is toxic in a way. When they say like the good old days, they're talking about no gay marriage, no women's voting rights, no bodily autonomy from women. That's what they mean with like conservative and like traditional family values and shit. The wife is taking care of the kids and the husband is working and being the breadwinner, and the wife should like submit to the whims of the man. You know, like the traditional values that my mom and my dad had, where the mom was like stuck in a loveless marriage and forced into it because she couldn't even open a bank account without a husband. That is what they mean with like the good old days. It pisses me off because every time conservatives talk about like going back and whatnot, that is what they are talking about. They want to go back on like rights in order to have more privilege for men. They just want to empower themselves by pushing everyone down and push for their patriarchal values. That is what they mean with like conservative things, and it's so annoying. My mother is a libertarian lesbian and my father is a far-right conservative. They are married for the bloodline. I feel like people who want to have like blood-related kids so badly, like they need to grow up, because you don't need to, you know, be blood-related in order to be a parent. And most of the times when straight people only getting kids for that purpose to like procreate and like have their bloodline live onwards, like they're just awful parents. I got a comment actually. How do you feel about the fact you can't have kids anymore? I don't want kids. I never wanted kids. Adoption is also like still a thing, but I can barely take care of myself. I feel it would be cruel to set another child in the society that is like falling apart. And also, I never wanted to like freeze sperm or something, because it always felt like if I would have kids, biological kids, I wouldn't be having them in the right way. And also, like, why am I basically getting like cis women misogyny now? What if you regret it? Don't you want to have kids? Don't you want to be a mom? Don't you want to start taking care of your family? Why am I getting cis women misogyny now? Then I was like, never wanted kids, and they were like, do you not want to continue your bloodline? What if you regret to have bottom later in life? No. Who cares? There's so many kids in the world. Like, blood relation doesn't matter. It doesn't mean that you're a good parent. It doesn't mean that you are better off as a parent if you have a child that is blood related. It doesn't mean you can't love a creature unless it came out of you. Like, that's just insane. And I feel like this is like typical conservative man talk. I think this is like what Elon Musk would say. You know, I'm spreading my seed. I'm increasing my impact on the history by pushing more and more women into carrying out my children. I'm diversifying my bloodline. It's like, you are a piece of shit. He's obsessed with breeding. Oh yeah, he loves the power dynamic. You think he gets off by the fact that like he forces women into like these vulnerable positions, exploit them, and then just ditch them. Also, what if Nyara is a vampire? She might spread her bloodline as a vampire countess. I'm just going to start feeding on creatures. It's like adoption is like always an option. Thinking that that is something why I might regret it is wild. Like seriously, like think think about it. I was on T blockers for over a year beforehand. So my fertility was already, you know, struggling. I had severe dysphoria because of my anatomy, and I wasn't able to enjoy a lot of aspects in my life because of my anatomy. I got rid of that anatomy, of that core issue. I have so much more energy now. To think that I might regret like everything because I'm not able to continue my bloodline, that is insane to me. That is like coming up to like a cis woman and who had like severe pain with the womb, got it removed or whatnot, and then people coming around being like, oh, won't you regret getting rid of that and no longer suffering severe pain because maybe you want kids in 10 years? That is the level of like thinking from these people, and that is insane. Like, I would regret not doing it if I would just like sit there and be like, hey, oh my god, I'm, you know, just like miserable, but like, oh, what if I want kids in like 15 years, despite not even wanting to have like any form of intimacy because of my anatomy, you know, just daydreaming every time that I would wake up as a girl. And then finally at the surgery, I did wake up as I imagined. And it helped me so much with like self-confidence and whatnot. Being more comfortable in my skin was like a huge boost for me. Imagine thinking that like all of this, I would just regret it because of procreation. I'll definitely adopt when I get to that part of my life. Yeah, me too. I don't think having a child, a blood-related child, is worth the pain of like a pregnancy. I don't think going through that traumatic experience in a lot of cases, going through a situation that is incredibly risky just to have like a child that is like your own, in quotation marks, I don't think that's worth it. I would literally just rather adopt, even if I was like a cis woman, you know, because there are like so many children who don't have a home, and I don't feel the need of getting anyone else in that world, in that situation, and I wouldn't be able to do it with like a good conscience, knowing that there are children who don't have a home for whatever reasons, and I could provide them with the love and care that I never had. Regret rate of pregnancy is far higher than of bottom surgery. Yeah, exactly. I have no desire to have kids, but I have dysphoria from the fact I can't birth any. Yeah, I think like the problem comes along with like you didn't get to have a choice. Like if you had a womb and whatnot and you don't want kids, like at least you have the choice. Imagine you're like, I don't like mint chocolate ice cream, but at least I can choose to not get it. But if like the country that you live in was just going around and banning mint chocolate ice cream just because I don't want it right now, and I don't think I will ever want it, the fact that I don't get to make the decision and instead someone else gets to make the decision for me, that's the part that sucks. That is like the part where dysphoria comes from. And I think that's also like the pain that comes when you're like a cis woman and you can't give birth, even if you don't want children. I think there are a lot of aspects that can cause this dysphoria where it's just like, this was out of my hand. Even if I don't like this certain thing, the fact that I wasn't able to get to choose makes it like kind of weird.
Hello, guys.
It's like,
Can you talk?
weird. What would be another like
Guys,
example
can you
of
talk?
it?
Talk
Can
to
you
me.
just be quieter?
Okay, so
Yes, please.
Can I just be quiet, man?
Kind of funny that that triggered the neon. I'm thinking of like an example that's like comparable to this, but I don't think I can. The loss of the opportunity of choice
chill,
and the
guys.
loss of the thing in the first place. Yeah, exactly. Average Valorant team for normal people and what weird guy. Yeah. I love that that is like what triggered them, you know? Completely quiet the whole time. And then I speak. I have a femme voice, and then just this emotional pick-me dude, you know, trying to start drama. That's just sad. I always wanted to be
bro.
a mom and planned
Hey,
to adopt, but I
Can you talk?
also did not.
Oh? Yeah, I can talk.
My god, they're so weird. Knowing that, like, even if I would have, like, biological children using my sperm, it wouldn't feel right. Because I didn't have them in the right way. It's like you don't currently want to swim, but you can make the choice to not go swim. But for us, we can't even make the choice to not swim. You know, that can also be, like, a part of, like, dysphoria, you know, when you're like transitioning and whatnot, you don't want to do something. Like, even if you don't want to do something because you're in like a certain transitioning stage or whatnot where you don't feel like comfortable enough to actually do it, it like removes that ability for you.
I'm on the floor, oh, like a good dancer.
What is happening? Somebody is hyped. You know, like, I'm always like really like careful when it comes to people who are so hyper, because I had like way too many instances where people were extremely hyper and then like I started speaking and they turned out to be transphobic. So I'm always, you know, on the fence when it comes to people like that. I have a couple of TikToks of people like that. You know, people being like really hyper and then they hear femme voice and they start being misogynistic. I have my bloodline. I don't want my kids to have all the sicknesses I do. True. I can't even take care of myself. Like, you want me to take care of another human being? Like, I don't know. If I want to take care of something, I would get a dog. But I am the dog. So, like, still want to be bred like a dog, though. Now you already got the bed for the dog? Yeah, that's my bed. The thing is, like, I don't have a dog bed. I have a bed and I have a human bed. Do you curl up on top of the blankets, though? No, I cuddle pillows and blankets. I unironically want to sleep in a dog bed. I mean, I am unironically sleeping in a dog bed. I don't think I can claim that that is, like, an ironic thing that is, like, happening right now. But they are extremely comfortable.